When my first relationship ended, I thought I needed another relationship. I thought that I needed another girlfriend so I could finally be happy again. But now I think that it wasn't another relationship that I needed to find. I needed to find another version of myself. You see, I was going on vacation when, unfortunately, me and my first girlfriend, we ended up breaking up. So I was really in paradise, and all of a sudden my world almost fell apart because I broke up with my girlfriend. And when that happened, I remember just crying in bed for hours, trying to figure out how I would survive because I felt so empty. I was literally in despair, and I tried to come up with all kinds of excuses as to why it wouldn't work out, but in all honesty, I really missed her and I really wanted her back, and it made me feel so empty that it had ended and there was really nothing that could be done. And so after, I went down to the beach the day after. I remember walking on the beach there, I was feeling so empty and crying, and thought, what do I do? What do I do now? And as I'm crying, walking and crying, I see a cat walking in front of me, and I just sat down a little bit and just tried to hide my tears, but the cat just grazed past my feet. I wanted to go to the beach, and maybe it could sense that I needed something. I thought that I needed another relationship to finally be happy, so I made the goal of when I went back home from the vacation that I would just go and look for another girlfriend, and then I would be happy again. However, one thing that I did to make myself get another girlfriend was I thought, okay, if I become a millionaire, maybe if I become rich, maybe I'll have an easier time finding a girlfriend. So I decided to become the millionaire version of myself. And from there on out, I thought, okay, once I have money, I mean, no girl is gonna wanna look away from me. So when I came back home from Sweden, I literally was looking or chatting with ChatGPT about where my perfect woman would be. Like, she would be in this city, and I went to the library in the closest city to me where there are smart people that like to read. And as I'm back from vacation and I go to the library, I try to read my book like and I try to blend in. And I was wondering while I'm reading the book, where is the where's the maybe this one. No, nobody's going to come up to me. Okay, well, every time I would go to the library, I would try to look for another girlfriend. However, as the weeks kept on going by, and I kept on going to the library and going outside and seeing the environment and the people around me, I became more immersed in becoming the millionaire version of myself. I actually started to quite like to learn now. So what I did was I somehow detached from the girlfriend part for a bit, and I became more attached and more immersed in learning to become a millionaire, or more precisely doing what I want and becoming the best version of myself in a way. And so gradually and slowly I began to just fall in love with myself more. And when I kept on reading books and discovering what kind of work I want to do to become a millionaire, because the current business model that I had really wouldn't make me a millionaire, I found out that I love to learn about this thing and I like to work with this thing so that I can eventually become a millionaire. And all of a sudden, I was not thinking about girlfriends or a relationship. I was discovering another part of myself, and when I thought about this, I was like, Okay, I need to become the best version of myself. I've seen other people say to become the best version of themselves, but what does that actually mean? And now that I think about it, I think it means becoming a version of yourself that doesn't need a relationship. What I mean by that is once you become someone who is so independent of other people to make you feel complete, and you feel like you're whole and you love to learn, you fall in love with the love of the process of becoming yourself. That's when I think I stopped really caring about relationships. Of course, I still want a girlfriend, I'm still single, but I wouldn't be sad, but like if I don't find my soulmate, okay, if it goes on for my life, but I'm completely fine even without a relationship right now, and I don't need anyone else to fill my hole in the heart that I had a few months ago. So what I learned was that I just needed to become the best version of myself in a way that meant falling in love with yourself and not necessarily having to fall in love with someone else. And I think that I now have become a person who is more capable of I filled my own cup, and now I'm overflowing with love, and I can spread the love to others. My cup is completely filled up. I feel like I can spread more love. And actually, my relationships, not with girlfriends, but with my mother, my friends, literally strangers, everything. I'm just spreading love everywhere. I want to talk to people here. When I walk up to girls now, or when I talk to random girls my age, I don't feel nervous. I don't feel like I need to have them become my girlfriend. I'm just happy to listen to them, talk to them, become their friends, and just spread love in a non what is it called, non-relationshipy way. I don't know the word for it, in a platonic way. So if you're looking, if you've gone through a breakup, or if you think you need someone else to make you happy, then maybe what you really need is something that you're not searching for. What you really need is an experience and maybe a goal that will make you fall in love with what you weren't seeking for. Because the more we want to have something, the less we get it. The more you want something, the more subconsciously you say to yourself that I don't actually have it. And the more you just let go of it, become the best version of yourself, I think I have a way higher chance of going into a great relationship now that I'm not looking than when I was looking. And that's what I'm trying to convey here. Because if you do not, and you just keep on looking for other people to fill the emptiness, for example, that I had, I was so empty and I was crying and stuff. I think that it would just fill a void in my heart, but then when that person would leave me and the relationship wouldn't have been as stable, I would always have someone else to rely on my happiness. And actually, when I was in a relationship, I was relying too much on the other person to be happy. Whereas now I rely entirely on my own happiness, and then I can spread it to others. And I think that is somehow what it means to become the best version of yourself, and not look for another relationship, but to work on yourself. At least that's from my perspective. Maybe you think differently of this, and of course you may have another perspective, but maybe this enlightened you a bit, because what I what I've now realized is that there really is, in this event that I went through, the breakup and everything, there is such an extraordinary lesson in the ordinary life. And if you can keep looking for these small extraordinary things and just become the best version of yourself, you will end up finding something that you weren't searching for, but that you're more grateful for. So that's what I want to convey in this video. I really hope that you have a great day. Stay blessed by the best, and I will see you.